didn't know what was going on
I grew up with them
in Arkansas. Really?
on the New Madrid fault line.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You talking about the one that happened in Austin?
No, that one that shook my house the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
it
you
was.
felt
It's,
Oh gosh, yeah,
You felt it,
it
okay,
felt
because I
all the
don't
way
live in
to
Austin.
Yeah.
Cedar Park.
yeah.
We're live.
Right.
Thank you. All right, yes, 6:34. So we'll go ahead and get started and start with our pledges to the flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I, the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Roll call. Commissioner Master,
Here.
Commissioner Heinemeier,
Here.
Mayor Nolan.
Here. We have a quorum. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Item number 1, announcements. I do have a rather long check report. I tried to make it not such an eye chart, but it still turned into an eye chart. And here's some more if anybody would like them. Items of interest.
Kingsbury Museum crating, hopefully. Did you see us on the tax roll? We should have been on the tax roll.
Oh, yeah, I don't see that unless I look up like a sales tax permit?
Yes, we
Oh,
paid
yeah,
sales tax to Kingsbury last month.
Wow, how
And this month.
exciting.
I know.
No, we won't see that. If you paid last month in January, we won't see that. We get them 2 months out.
Oh,
the good work.
yeah,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Somehow I made 2 contributions or transfers from the checking account to Texas class, which is okay. We still have like 30,000 in the checking account. So, yeah, on this January 17th, there was 2. And that's when, in January is when I set up, they don't have a recurring feature, so I had to set up 12, yes, and schedule 12 of them, and so we would have to remember once a month, and somehow I got 2 of them, but that's fine. The U.S. Treasury, that's where the payments for the FICA, Medicare, and Social Security, payments for withholdings from payments last year, 2 of which I missed and 1 of which I made on time, so that's what that is. We had 2 mixed beverage tax receipts, 369 and 308. We had our franchise fees come in for Q4 last year, so there was one from Blue Bonnet and one from GVC, and then another one from GVC for $9.02. They miscalculated. Apparently, there was no real explanation in with the check. So I'm guessing that they did some recalculation and there was another $9.02 that they felt they owed us. We had some outlays for the Trail Drive breakfast and for the Hot Chocolate Social. There was these outlays to Texas File, and that is where we get the deed information that includes the meets and bounds for properties. So it's when you do $20, there's a fee of $1.65 on there, so it comes out to $21.65 every time it renews on there. And now we have a $6 a month coming out for Pro Boards for the bronze plan that we or that I upped us to, so that we have a much greater limit on number of attachments and file sizes on our message board. And during this time too, we also got the sales tax. That included for December, for Q4 last year, and for yearly payments. So there was quite the number of transactions. There was one for Wix, anyway, but it was for the email for Waste Manager. So that was a payment that came out. And kind of the highlights. I put, to try and make it at least a little bigger, it went to 2 pages. And so in our Texas class, our interest last month was $617.01, and on the Clifford was $165.58. So interest income continues to do very well. Any questions on check report?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I see Google Storage. Do we have a cloud? Or is it Google Cloud?
Well, yeah, it has to do with files, and it's like $2.12 a month.
Yeah. We don't know if we can store videos or pictures, just for future reference.
You may, if we reached a limit at some point on our mail. And so there is, I'm sure, some cloud storage associated with that. I don't know that we've used it, but I'm sure that there is. A lot of it has to do with mail. We reached a limit where we couldn't. But I can check on that and see.
Yeah, it's just for future. I mean, when we set up some cameras, maybe
Yeah.
at the transfer center, we can store
Yeah.
the video footage. At least for a while. I don't know if we maybe have to, we might even have to store
Yeah.
it for.
I
Yeah.
don't think you'd want to store it for a little while
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Long enough
to look through it.
to
And that goes-
discern if something happened, and then be able to look back,
and that
Yeah.
goes rapidly.
And then-
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
By it's lots
a
of.
couple of weeks, a month maybe.
I know that came about because we had to upgrade it because of mail storage. So yeah, and so I mentioned that we do have the waste manager at Kings, and Udo and I have emailed back and forth several times to make sure that we did get that going.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure if my response was necessary. I felt a bit foolish.
Well, I think it was helpful, wasn't it, for understanding of the whole,
I was not sure if that was proper. I have no idea. I'm happy they're going ahead. I like it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes, very exciting.
Any other announcements? It's not already covered in agenda items?
Next cheese class is Gouda, so if you guys want to learn to make Gouda, that's in March, 3rd Saturday.
Third Saturday?
Gouda cheese.
Gouda cheese. We made Swiss this
You wanna
last
learn that
Saturday, and
later?
it was brilliant.
Lessons or whatever?
Yes. And we make butter and ricotta in every class.
All right.
Only that.
Gouda.
Okay.
That's a good one.
The trail drivers gave us a really nice plaque, and I'm not sure where to display that. I mean, I've gotten plaques before. This one is really, really nice.
It's nice.
It is nice. I'm not sure where we can put something like that.
A picture of it on our website,
Yeah.
our Facebook page, website.
Yeah.
Took a picture of Shirley holding that day. I could certainly put that up somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it can go in
Hang
the
it up in
office,
the
but
office,
nobody's
but
ever in
wouldn't
there.
wear it.
I know, that's what I was thinking, same thing, where, it's not,
Hang it up in
Yeah.
the hall, Kingsbury Hall.
Well, at the store, more people would see it.
Yeah.
It's on front of the store.
Yeah, that's where
But,
they've
I
been
mean,
before, yeah.
That's, you know, if it's okay with the owner.
Oh.
I mean,
So yeah, I got a lot of feedback from the trail riders on that. They really enjoyed staying in Kingsbury. They really enjoyed the morning of on their way out. And they really liked the mimosas that. I was like, I have this champagne that's already been paid for and everything.
way
Let
to
me.
start your day.
And so I was like,
Drive safe,
hey,
guys.
let me pull this over here. And
Biscuit and gravy and two
Yeah.
of those.
So that went over really well. Let's see, I think that's it for announcements. And item number 3, old business consent agenda item, approval of the January 22nd, 2024 regular commission meeting minutes. Anything in those items that needs to be moved to the regular agenda? All right, the stand is approved. Item number 4, discuss and consider application for road closure for chili cook-off March 30th, and I should have gotten that out. This is the Big Easy Saloon is doing their chili cook-off, and I have it right here in front. So of course it is. Has moved somewhere back in my papers. It is for the Big Easy Saloon. It's for March 30th. They have submitted a permit for that I wanted to review. I know I have it in here because I was just looking at it. It's attached to the flyer for them. I'm sure I have it here. Hold on. Anyway, again, yeah, it is for March 30th. It is just for a matter of safety of the people that will be attending, because they will be booths on both sides of the street. And I might have it right there on my computer so that I would not forget to bring it, and that's probably where it is. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look just through just a few more, just to make sure that I don't have it with me. And I don't. However, yeah, I don't. However, they're requesting road closure for March 30th for the chili cook-off. Do we need, is there any specific information we need to vote on that?
I mean, I think
They have an application.
Yes, they
And
have submitted an application.
Somebody's read it and said
Yes,
it's good.
I have
and
read it,
they
and
did
it is
last
good.
year and.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes. It's
think
just for the
fine.
safety of the
City
people
clerk
there.
has a place to file it.
Well, I move to a motion that we approve that application.
All right,
Second.
all right. Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this? Except for me to apologize. Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. All right, motion carries. Item number 5, discuss and consider a resolution to change the name of the Kingsbury Planning and Zoning Committee to the Kingsbury Development Committee. So you have a resolution for that?
Yeah, should I read it out loud, or?
Sure.
Okay. Whereas the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas, appointed 8 people to establish the new Kingsbury Planning and Zoning Committee on January 18th, 2023, or June, sorry. Whereas Kingsbury Planning and Zoning Committee found upon deliberation that their motivations lie in driving value to area residents through the development of municipal services and communications, and whereas the committee found that zoning in Kingsbury city limits would disincentivize area residents from incorporating at this time, and whereas the committee felt that the name Planning and Zoning Committee was no longer a clear representation of their goals, now therefore it be resolved by the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas as follows. The City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas hereby renames the Planning and Zoning Committee to the Kingsbury Development Committee. The committee's objectives will shift to development and community engagement rather than zoning. The Development Committee will be comprised of the same volunteers from the City of Kingsbury and the surrounding areas as it was under its previous name. The Development Committee will follow all open meetings requirements, adhere to the duties, powers, and bylaws presented at the time of formation, and will report to and advise the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas, as required by the City Commission of City of Kingsbury, Texas. That this resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passing. And I dated it when this was voted on, which was November 20th, 2023. Yay!
So we've already voted on that, all right.
Fantastic. Do we need
Does it need to
do
be
anything
like
further, or?
first and a second? Or I'll just
We've already
sign
done
it, and
Okay.
Shirley will, and that'll be that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, and then,
And then all our resolutions and ordinances, I'm sure you know, are on the website under resolutions and ordinances. Okay.
okay, well, these will be soon.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful.
Do you want to hear this other one? It's the next thing.
Item number 7, discuss and consider wait. Excuse me, so item number 6, resolution to appoint a waste manager for the city of Kingsbury.
Okay. A resolution authorizing the city commission to appoint a waste manager for the city of Kingsbury. Whereas the local waste transfer station operated by Guadalupe County has been recently closed to the public, and whereas many area residents have expressed a desire to reopen or replace the waste transfer center, and whereas a local resident volunteer has taken it upon himself to create a plan and open a new transfer station to be called the Kingsbury Municipal Waste Transfer Station. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas, as follows. Section 1, a new appointed position will be created with the title of Kingsbury Waste Manager. Section 2, the new waste manager will be given the authority to speak for the City of Kingsbury in matters concerning the development of a new waste transfer station. Section 4, the waste manager will follow all open meetings requirements, adhere to duties, powers, bylaws presented at the time of formation, and will report to and advise the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas, as required by the City Commission of the City of Kingsbury, Texas. Section, that should be at 5. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passage. Passed, approved, and adopted this 22nd day of January 2024.
Fantastic. Let's pass it.
Well, I think we voted on that last month, correct?
All right,
Yeah.
great. Well, thanks for checking my work.
Thank you, sir.
Nice legalese.
Jessica, you have a number on that one? You didn't, on the previous one, you put a number, resolution.
It should be R.
It is 2024-01.
Thank you. Actually, you didn't.
Well,
I know.
what are you gonna do?
That computer just doesn't keep up with you.
It's true.
All right, thank you. Item number 7, discuss and consider Kingsbury Development Committee report and discussion. Do we have a report from KDC?
So he sent
She did send,
the
post.
minutes
Okay.
and is out sick today.
Yeah, it's going around.
It
Yeah.
is. He really is.
Um,
I know
So,
some
I
people
mean,
have had
I
flu,
just-
some people had the vid,
Last weekend, I was
and
so
some people had
bummed.
both.
Were you at the meeting?
I
Were
was,
you
You muted?
Thank you, dear.
At our meeting on February 13th, 2024, in attendance was Elena E. Rodriguez, Robert Tyler White, Jessica Gardner, Joy Bashir, Lupe Sands, and Udo Stockbrer. My apologies for mispronouncing it.
No, you did perfect. You did.
Okay, great. We also had a couple of guests, Margaret Taylor and Arnold Keith. The committees and commissions are not the same thing. The distinguishable feature is that a committee operates as a means of internal regulation, while commission services as an external review and decision of ordinance process. The mission of the Kingsbury Development Committee seeks to promote and improve quality of life, enhancing a sense of community and preserving the integrity of our small town identity and heritage. Vision. The Kingsbury Development Committee seeks sustainable growth that protects our natural and historic resources while preserving integrity of a small town identity. Action items. Education outreach incentives. February 10th, hot chocolate social event, great turnout, lessons learned, improvements for next event. What's the next event? When? Commission funding requested for future initiatives. That's all I got on that. The KDC, Kingsbury Development Committee, activity calendar to participate and or coordinate future community engagements throughout the 2024 year. For instance, any ideas when the 2024 Fall Harvest Festival will be? It is true that the KVFD July fundraiser is the last weekend in July. Question mark? Is it true? Yes, okay. Please send info to Lupe and CCE Rodriguez. Identify existing and or upcoming community activities for coordination and collaboration. March 16th, 2024, Model T Olympics at Pioneer Flight Museum. May 4th, 2024, Wings and Wheels Springs Fly-In and Raffle Drawing, Pioneer Flight Museum. July, 2024, KVDF Fundraiser.
It is the last Saturday. It's the
KVFD,
last Saturday.
maybe? Yeah. The last Saturday.
It's the
in
last
July.
Saturday in July, and the other one is the second Saturday in November, the Fall Harvest, and also the fly-in. Both are the second Saturday in November.
Okay.
What was the other?
Second
The
Saturday,
fly-in is the same time as the
November.
Fall Harvest, second
Oh,
Saturday.
that one.
last weekend in July. I will change that to an exclamation point instead of a question mark.
Any word about the volunteer fire department?
It's always the same. Last Saturday in July.
Yeah, November 9th
The,
is the Wings and Wheels Fall Fly-In.
It should be the second Saturday in November,
Yeah.
same
Got
day
it, got
as
it.
Fall Harvest, which probably is the
Okay. Communication platform inventory. The communication platform facilitates external and internal messaging, multiple channels such as in-person, phone, video conferencing, and community messaging. City of Kingsbury's municipal channels include face-to-face, in-person, digital, and print. New business commission funding. Committee reports, February 2024 minutes report emailed to Commissioners Court, 2/19/24. Announcements, 2/19/24 President's Day, federal and state holiday, offices closed. Shout out to Lupe for stepping up to fill the need of activity coordinator. Our next meeting is Tuesday, March 11th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. at the Kingsbury Fallen Deer Fire Department, FM 1104. Meeting adjourned at 7:30. We had the couple of guests residents that showed up, Margaret and Arnold, were there to kind of follow up after the hot chocolate social with some questions about the removal of,
ETJ.
thank you, the
Removal from
ETJ, removal from the ETJ. And I believe that E helped Arnold finish his paperwork, is that correct? Do you know about that? I think she stayed after the meeting to try
She was saying she would help them
to.
as they ran out of the room to do something.
Right, okay, yeah, I believe that she walked him through the rest of the paperwork. And Margaret just had questions about which of the properties were or were not, and I think that most of them were.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was fun to have at the meeting. That's, is there anything that I'm missing that you can think of was?
No, sir.
Okay.
What was the general consensus of how that hot chocolate thing went?
Oh,
Y'all
You
went
actually have
over- Oh, is it on here?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
number 14.
Yeah.
These things,
Okay, I'll wait.
Pancake, are they doing that?
I'm assuming, yeah, they always do it. It's in
It's
May.
usually the-
It's right before the fly-in in May.
That day.
Thank
the
you.
day of the
Same day as the fly-in.
Assumptions, presumptions, if it's not on the calendar, do you know?
You know, you never know with the
It's-
phone.
it's
As
May,
with
Sorry,
today,
Friday.
as with today, no, it was not posted, but we're here anyway. It was posted, but it got blown away. I'm sorry, that's reality of life in this world.
Yeah.
All right. Any further discussions regarding KDC? Yes, sir.
Mayor, I don't know if it's in order or if you want to discuss it, but I thought while we're talking about the development committee, I think Frank had a question about, this might be an appropriate place to answer. I think you asked Frank about whether the city has a resolution, an ordinance, or an agreement pertaining to subdivisions with the county or otherwise. And my recollection, which y'all probably remember better than I do, I think in 2016, we entered into an interlocal agreement with Guadalupe County to do two things. One, to let them have enforcement of subdivision, and we follow their platting and their subdivision regulations for now. And I don't remember the details, but I think the county generally says something like you can't subdivide into less than a half acre, or we'll have to get to the details. And I think that interlocal agreement also pertains to septic tanks, and we agreed with the county that we were not going to create an enforcement bureaucracy for septic or subdivisions at that time. So we said we're following the county's lead.
Yeah,
That's
it
my
was
understanding.
like the septic, it was flooding, and it was like flood control or
Yes,
flood,
that's
something
right.
to do with flooding.
And that was 2016, and I think you're probably right. And because I don't know where I was in relation to this commission. It was Janet still,
Janet was on.
and but I think I was at a
County
meeting,
woman came.
and Shelley came and talked to us about all that. I remember that. But then I was, I had the questions. So I continued to look, and I looked under our ordinances and resolutions.
Yeah,
And it
interlocal,
was
probably. was-
an interlocal. It's in there.
Oh, okay.
But it was for Brian did.
They said
And
it's
then
a long
interlocal
Here
to,
we go, interlocal.
Approve
It was
it.
January of 2017 for
Mhm.
next year, and we had an interlocal for subdivision regulations in the ETJ and in the city. It did not say anything about the septic, which
I
is
think that
separate.
comes with it. I think that's part of it.
Well, the resolution just says it was subdivision regulations. It was January 17th. I don't remember the number of it.
we.
But he said it also. Go ahead.
No, we pretty much followed the precedent set by the other cities in the county. They were all doing similar. I think one city
Yeah.
was doing one thing different with plating, and now has since reversed that, so.
Well, I
pretty much
remember,
they're
I
all
remember her
doing the same
telling
thing.
us that we could do all these different, we could do septic, we could have them do septic for us, we could have them do, the plating for us, we had to do this for us, had to do that for us. And I think we chose to let them do everything except the, no, the septic also,
I
yeah.
think we had to,
Yeah.
because we don't
Everything.
really have any way
Right.
Yeah,
to
two.
force
But like I
it.
said, the ordinance for the next year, on the 2017, says, only thing listed there is subdivision. And it also says, and this is what caught my attention, that it is not renewable automatically, it has to be renewed
Whoa,
uh,
yeah.
evidently annually. So I'm saying right now, according to that, we don't have any regulation except our own. But I don't know, I have no idea.
No, that's something definitely
Yeah.
to check, because they've never come back to us.
I know, well, it says it will just, all it said was it will not renew or automatically or annually. Let's see. 1 year expiration date cannot be auto-renewed. And it was an intercoastal with the county for subdivision regulation within Kingsbury City and Kingsbury ETJ. And then it said the 1 year expiration date cannot be auto-renewed. And I'm like, I don't remember ever renewing that again,
No.
or not on an annual basis,
No,
so.
I don't remember,
I don't
recall
know.
being contacted or anything
But-
regarding the level there.
Since the ordinance, or the, yeah, I guess not the ordinance, the resolution, I guess, was written up that way. Somebody had some wording to make them put it.
I
there.
don't think it's the Wild West. I think there is some regulation out there. I
Yeah,
don't think
oh, I
it's.
know,
the-
yeah, somebody is,
Yeah.
somebody's gotta be in
Yeah,
charge.
I don't know. I'd have to really read that because, like I said, somebody is regulating that.
Yeah.
It's the county is
Yeah.
regulating that.
And yeah,
Constantly changing their rules is why you can't have renewable auto.
well, that's what I was gonna say, well, I would like to contact the county, I was thought about it, but I said, I'll
Yeah.
wait till this is done.
Yeah.
And see exactly what the regulations are for subdivision.
Yeah, what's our part in the interlocal?
Because I was reading some of,
Yes.
some of
Yes,
their,
certainly.
they had an older set of regulations for subdivision, then they had a new one that was just a couple of years old maybe, or maybe just 1 year old. They redid it all, and you could tell the difference. But it's geared more towards these huge subdivisions, and because they're talking about,
Like what they're putting in down the road.
the code, the street design,
Yeah.
the layers of, you know,
And that is
sub base
what
and
it's
this, that, and the other, and this much clearance and all these other things, and, it's like, no, this is not for somebody to buy 300 acres, or like over on Gander Slough and, Woodrow Center, on the other end.
The 5 and 10 acres.
It's like- You know, it looks like, well, it looks like roughly 10-acre lots. They took, it looks like maybe 80, 90 acres, and they marked it off sort of. And they've got these communal wells punched all over it. And it looks like they're gonna service maybe 5 lots apiece, I don't know. I'm like, oh man,
But they have no septic tanks, right?
well, you have to be installed.
Yeah, I think they had a company coming to, that was,
That's the one down here. Yeah, they're gonna have, there's a name for it.
Water treatment?
No, not, yeah,
No.
it is gonna be water treatment, but it's not compact. It's a,
compost.
no. Oh gosh darn it. I forget the name for it, but
It's
they
an
are,
agreement.
yeah,
It's an
well,
agreement.
they have basically a community septic system.
Okay.
Oh, septic as well as.
Well, it's a waste treatment plant, wastewater treatment
Look.
plant. But they have to dispose of the solids too, so how they're gonna do that, I don't know. But I'm sure the county's regulating that,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
outside our ETJ.
yeah.
Well, we don't have any
Uh,
enforcement over
But it,
anything like that.
yeah, but it's like,
Where is it?
Gander Slough and,
Well, he's talking about one down here, Ganderslow and Woodrow Center, then there's one down, was it 1150? That's the one where they voted in a mud.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
That side there, right? When you go towards the mud, on that side.
It may be.
so. I don't know, anyways, if we have to renew.
Well, I know that in other cities, they've had a lot of back and forth with some of the developers
Mhm.
because they will lay out where the streets are so narrow
Mhm.
that you cannot get fire equipment in there.
Yeah.
And where if one house went up, they would all go up. And so there's certain fire codes that,
There's, yeah, the Guadalupe County, there, like I said, street widths and setbacks from property lines and everything.
yeah,
in
that's
there.
that's been some of the back and forth with some of these.
You know, but like I said, all we can do is not offer any additional services because we're not gonna, you know, we don't tax people for it, we don't provide it. And I mean, maybe we will someday, but if they can figure out a way to provide water and sewage for their lot, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. All right. So I'll check on that interlocal and see, because it'd be good to know exactly what's going on there.
And I'm curious about what is a lot size? Is there a minimum, it seems like there'd be a minimum lot size, maybe not, for a septic system. As long as it's working, I guess it doesn't matter what size property you put it on.
Mm-hmm. Package. It's a package plant.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
I had to Google it.
But,
But yeah,
right.
it's called a package plant.
I don't know how thorough the county is checking on the requirements being met. You know, I guess it was sooner or later. I don't know. It's like if I see an illegal subdivision going, if they're doing something wrong, I would like to get it corrected. You know, before it continues.
Yep.
But I don't know. I know.
I mean, what's considered wrong?
Well, that's like, what's the
We don't have any
regulation?
zoning, we're Liberty
No,
City.
they can't, but the county, like I said, when I put in my septic system, the county came out for 15 minutes and looked at what the guys were doing, and they said, okay, it's good.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, I know all the things they missed. I know all the things the county missed. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Not gonna say anything about it because
there's nothing was missed.
Yeah.
Left hand,
Yeah,
and I promise.
I got a call from a guy in Converse. He's flipping land here. He wants me to send him something that we don't have, like some kind of sign ordinance, because he wants to put a sign. Anything else regarding KDC?
No.
And I'll get back,
Yeah.
I'll follow up on that
That's okay.
interlocal.
What were we on, numbers?
We're on number 8,
Well,
discuss and
eight.
consider
Okay.
Kingsbury calendar of events. I think
So
we-
this was
This
something he asked for and she's not here.
the funding.
She wanted to,
No,
she
calendar
said
of
something
events.
about, I mean, it was kind of discussed in the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of brought that up.
Probably I think she wants it on the website or something, so everybody knows what's coming up.
Well, she wants to
Yeah.
plan, like
I mean-
6 months or a year out
Yeah.
for what y'all are gonna do, or talk about or discuss.
But we know, I mean, we know what we do, you know, and they're always the same dates, like.
I mean,
But
Well,
we,
maybe
but not
it's
everybody on the
calendar.
committee does.
we have it on the calendar. It's on the website under calendar.
Mhm.
Pretty much everything.
I don't know, she asked for it, so.
Then maybe as a resource from the city, our calendar is what we have to offer. I mean, I don't know what else, but I have a feeling they're gonna come up with their own initiatives and things that they feel need to be addressed to inform the public, educate the public, invite the public to participate
Well, we
in.
typically put it on the calendar, put it on the Kingsbury calendar, maybe as an event. You know, we'll put it up on a Kingsbury website, Kingsbury Facebook, as an event. Put it on the Kingsbury website, and then typically on what's happening in Kingsbury Facebook.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, I
if
guess she was
she's looking
talking
for
about
something else.
trying to, you know, I mean, like you were saying, like a lot of these bigger events, there is already a date for, but like, I guess she was talking about getting ahead of it so that, like, if the city, the development committee wants to be at some of these events to, you know,
Promote.
then, which, I don't know, you know, I can't really speak for her. I'm just a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the minutes, it did say ask for funding.
Yeah, I heard that. And I said, for what? But I don't know. I feel there seems to be a little bit lack of direction of her purpose right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So accept the minutes tonight? For,
Oh, for the, I mean, I don't think we have to
No,
accept.
we're not,
Thank you.
we're just
That's
getting a
what-
report. So Kingsbury, well, so that will table, wait for, to get a further definition of exactly what, yeah, what she's desiring there. So if we can table that one.
Okay.
Okay, item number 9, discuss and consider update on plans for the Kingsbury Municipal Waste Transfer Station. We'll start there.
Yeah. Two updates is your interlocal, what you set up. This is the next one, so I don't have to say anything about that.
Well, we put it on the message board. The county contacted me last week wanting to, for us to provide them an interlocal agreement. So I put something together, got with Sam and Udo, looked this over, what do you think? And, Sam had some suggestions, which we added to that, and I gave that to, Trish. They wanted it on their agenda for the 27th. Of course, there were no office, I was gonna call today and say, hey. And, but yeah, they don't have, there was no, office hours today due to President's Day. Happy President's Day, Bob.
Yeah. Yay.
Yeah, that was a prompt reaction from Seidenberger and Judge Kutcher to my presence on the last county court meeting. And I approached them and said, how can we do this? What do I need to do to be on your agenda for the next session, which is the 27th? And promptly they reacted and got in contact with you, that you set up an interlocal. I like it.
Good
So
work.
now we are going ahead. Something's
Yes.
happening.
Love it.
And I most likely will be on the agenda on the 27th for the session. Would nice to be have a little backup by you and maybe Sam.
Yeah.
If not, I will just go down my list and they know what I want. They only have to vote now for let us do it. You know, get an approval. That is what is happening on Tuesday, next Tuesday. The news is what I already knew on our last commissioners meeting, that we do not need a waste permit. So I could concentrate on what they call the storm water permit. And I contacted TCEQ, now the different department which is responsible for the storm water. And it seems like we don't even need that either. So I have a correspondence between them and me. So I asked friendly to put me in the right direction, because it is such a labyrinth to go through there. It's like an insurance company, of course. And you can very fast over-insure yourself. You're paying out of the yin-yang for something you probably don't even need. And I'm always careful with that, because every insurance company is a business. And the business is existing to make money. Anyways, so the answer was basically pretty clear. TPDES, stormwater coverage, is for industrial facility, is dependent on the SIC or activity code that applies to the primary activity conducted at the facility. To read that 2 or 3 times to understand it, I don't know what SIC is now. So they are, by answering one question, they are opening up another question to me. Now I have to look up this SIC. So they basically tell me coverage is only required to be obtained if a facility operates under an SIC code explicitly listed in the multi-sector general permit or at the following link. So now you go to a link. Additionally, your facility may be regulated if it falls under a specific activity code. Hazardous waste, we don't have that. Landfills, we are not that. Steam electric power generation, we are that not either. Domestic wastewater treatment plants, not either. So none of them actually applies to us. And then the person referred to the Republic Service permits they had before, which are absolutely not comparable for us, because we do not have metal scrap, we do not have construction trash, we have no oil, no medicine, no hazardous waste. We seriously have only household trash, plastic and cardboard. So that to find under that SIC code is now on my agenda. a day has 24 hours. When I take no break, it might have 25 hours. So, the only what might be for us is they gave me a number, SIC code Texas RO5, it doesn't matter. The description for local trucking without storage. And this is what applies to us because we have a trucking company, Superior Disposal, coming to our facility to pick up the dumpsters, deliver them back to Lulling to recycle, or the household trash to the Class 1 landfill here at Post Oak. So that might be the only one we might need to have a permit for stormwater. That's it. That's the latest news. I have not heard anything from Joachim,
I have.
and I think we are that far already. We should just say.
I have
Yeah.
I'll
You
talk
do.
about that next.
Yeah. Okay. That's the latest news I have.
And then I'll only add that, kind of 9 and 10 are kind of together, but when I, sent the interlocal agreement, I also asked for, as Sam had requested, the lease agreement or contract that they had with Republic, so we can see what was in that particular contract. I think it's available, through the county records or something, but I asked, if she would just go ahead and send that to us.
If I recall correctly, last time you said that they did have and maybe a release on it, the Arizona company.
Yeah, Republic Service.
Right.
Yeah, there's no need because then we were not sure if this permit was still existing, but getting in contact with Republic Service after all, so they finally answered me. I don't exactly know how that happened. There is a lady, her name is Carmen Davila. She is the public relation officer, I believe, from the county, and her telephone number is on that facility. So I blunt called her up, and she finally called me back, and she did something, I don't know, the same day, all of a sudden, Republic Service got back with me, and then I met her in person last Tuesday at the county court, and I appreciated her help, and I almost hugged her. I said, I don't know what you did, but that was good, it was awesome, because Republic Service got back with me, and I know now that the permits they had, they are terminated since 31st of October last year. So they are not existing anymore.
So strictly
There is
Commissioner's
record,
Court.
but that's it.
It's strictly the Commissioner's Court at this point.
There's a couple of comments that I raised when we started looking at this interlocal were that this agreement or the language said that we were assuming a lease agreement. And to a lawyer, of course, assuming an agreement means that that's a formal assumption, and we are basically stepping into somebody else's shoes to perform under a lease. And I think that under these circumstances, from my questions to and Udo's explanation in our discussions, which haven't been very much yet, but my understanding is we're probably, and I'd like to verify this with the county attorney, and we need to know before we walk into the 27th meeting, is what are we assuming? And I may have misunderstood from that language, though, because I think that what the county is talking about is basically just making a new lease. We're just going to do a new lease, or they are going to do a new lease with the city of Kingsbury. We're not assuming anything. And my concern about assuming is that I was thinking they had an agreement with Republic that said you're going to, we're going to pay you this much, $6,500 a quarter or something like that, plus you get to keep the money, Republic, for a year or more. But if my concern is, are there a bunch of standards of performance? Does it say in that agreement with Guadalupe County that Republic has to do the following specific numbers or movements, and if so, I would just be concerned is signing off on an agreement that we're assuming something, and if we don't know exactly what we're assuming and what we have to perform under, then we could get into trouble with the failure to perform. But I think, as I just mentioned, I think I probably just did not understand. And if all they're saying is that we're entering into an agreement with Kingsbury to, well, this agreement says, whereas the city of Kingsbury expresses interest in assuming the lease and operations of the trash collection station to ensure its effective management and maintenance. And the terms of the agreement include a lease transfer. Guadalupe County agrees to transfer the lease of the property at 5820 Old Ski Luling Road, along with the operations of the trash collection station thereon to the city of Kingsbury. And then it says responsibilities of the city. The city of Kingsbury shall assume full responsibility for the lease, operation, maintenance, and management of the trash collection station. The city shall ensure that the trash collection station operates in compliance with all relevant regs, and we think we're doing that. The city shall provide adequate staffing, equipment, and resources necessary for the efficient functioning of the trash collection station. Now, that's where my antenna go up, because well, I didn't know, and I'm learning as we go along, what staffing there is, and the staffing in the first 3 months or so is UDO. But then we have trucks, the Superior Disposal. At this point, everything that we undertake, and let me back up again, I always figure my job as a lawyer is we're talking to entrepreneurial people, and the people of Kingsbury want to see things like this done. But lawyers and entrepreneurial people take risks, and that's the nature of business. Lawyers, and I think my job is to some extent to be a risk manager, and let's contemplate those risks and figure out what we're going to do. And I don't think the city can go into debt. And I haven't thought this all the way. Well, I haven't thought this all the way through, but I don't know what the conclusion is. And I think the city commission also has to think about it. That we don't want to go into debt, but we're not supposed to be going into debt unless it's on a certificate of obligation or bonded debt. And I don't mean to be overly concerned, but the reason I raised the question is that what if in the first 3 months there are a huge number, if there's a huge number of Superior trucks moving stuff to, and they're going to take it over here to Post Oak, we're going to have some big bills from the Superior Disposal, I suppose. And now, if there's a lot of trucking going on, then there ought to be a lot of income. But we only make, well, I'm going to exaggerate, we only have income of $3,000 a quarter. Well, no, it's more than that, but we have a limited income.
Right.
And I'm concerned about, or I think the city should address in its deliberations whether to sign off on this agreement. What risk are we willing to take? How much? Like for instance, Udo has explained that he is the staffing as we go through this process of learning how to operate a business, which this is going to become a municipal waste division of the city. So it's not a business, but we are. But the law says that's a kind of a proprietary function that we're undertaking, just like school districts driving school buses. I think that it's not a strictly municipal thing where we are protected from liability. So anytime we enter into a contract, we're subject to performing under that contract and paying the obligations as we go. And so another thing that I wanted to mention is I think you should contemplate, it seems to me that if we're going to do this, all of the bills are going to have to be paid, and with with city money, because this is a municipal waste business. Should we set up, from an accounting standpoint, a municipal waste division of the city of Kingsbury with, so that you can separate out the accounting and the obligations, and you can delegate, paying those bills. You may think about it, or we're going to have to continue to do it like we always have, which is the mayor meets with the city clerk and the commission approves checks and everybody signs it. We might be doing that in 3 or 4 months. We might have employees working for, as I understand it, if this turns out to be very successful, and then our kudos plan is to, and the city's plan, if we adopt this, is that we might be building that, you can call it a bureaucracy or whatever, but it's a municipal waste division. It may grow into, we're going to be paying bills for trucking, we're going to be paying maybe wages and withholding and all the rest of it in the future. But in the meantime, I would just, my concern is 45 days into this, we're already got bills that exceed what's coming in. But anyway, that's the conservative, pessimistic lawyer's point of view. And I've always done that in my career. I always point out to businessmen and women that I represent, you need to think about this, and you need to think about this, and this could go wrong. And I've had my clients tell me over the years, okay, lawyer, you made your point, but now I'm going to decide what to do. So all I do is
We need the input, we need these, yeah.
So one thing, talking about taking over a lease, I did watch that meeting, the county commissioners meeting, when they were talking about the dump closal. There was somebody there to try to, they brought a proposal. I don't remember exactly, but what I do remember for sure is that part of what was happening at that station was the county cleanup, the road cleanup, was bringing all of that to that station.
Yeah, let's go.
So we might need to check that, because if the county is expecting us to take the trash that they pick up from the side of the road, then I don't know if that's part of that lease program, but I believe that it was, because that was part of what was happening over there. The county was able to bring all of the stuff that they were picking up off of the roads.
That is not going to happen.
Well, that's,
Okay.
that's like when they get, the first time you said, assuming a lease, an existing lease, like triggers went off everywhere.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
But we're writing our own new.
A brand new lease from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
according
one-
to their lease expired.
Am I mistaken, but I thought when we talked about this last month that they were gonna pay us $6,500 to take over the dump along with,
I'm not going for any substitutes.
okay.
No. I want to run this as a business without help from the county. And this is where the whole thing goes eerie, because Republic Service, they claim they got 6,000, no, this is Seidenberger said that.
Oh.
That's not even information from Republic Service. This is hear and say. I don't even know, I don't have this in writing. Seidenberger told me that the county gave them, for each facility, which were two, $6,000 per month. Plus what they made in daily cash income, and they still were not able to make a plus. Somebody was lining his pockets, I claim. Clear thing. Yeah. There is, and this is of course a problem which I see, because you have only cash flow going on there. There's nobody coming with a check or so. It's not happening. And I need to seriously watch out what are those people bringing. You cannot sit in that little booth and just wave them through. No, you physically have to be at the dumpsters and watch cardboard, plastic, and trash bags, and I will have a little scale there. That scale can weigh up to 300 or 250 pounds, and put randomly a few trash bags on there in order to see, am I reaching my 8,000 pounds of dump capacity, where I have a quote from Travis for $500 or $495. That is the thing you need to figure out in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. If you don't figure this out, or if this is going eerie, I will pull the emergency brake. I see what is going on, what comes in, and I know when the dumpster is full, when I have to pay the dumpsters to be removed. There's a thing of trust here right now.
And we know how much it costs for Republic to grab them.
Yes.
Housing, the other thing.
I want to keep the price for plastic and cardboard for free, to make it interesting for the residents to separate cardboard and plastic. Yet I need to hide the cost for plastic and cardboard in my trash. So I want people to separate that, because this is how Travis makes his money. This is how the whole thing is set up.
It's not curiosity, because I don't know the intricacies of your plan. So cardboard and plastic, I can bring it to you free,
Well,
Yes.
because you're gonna recover that, some of that
we might be
Price.
able to recover quite a bit more
from
too.
selling the plastic and the cardboard,
Not he
But
directly,
you're gonna-
but his contract.
or you're not.
I'm not selling it.
You're not?
I'm not selling it. Travis is probably selling it.
Contract.
This is his
Okay,
thing,
all
yes.
right, he's picking it up.
Yeah, he's picking it up, he's making a good deal on that. $150 per dumpster, he's charging us to bring them away.
So, wait, you've already done recycling? Because I've been talking to the recycling people, and they have a whole plan. We can even do glass.
I said this already in December. I got the prices from Travis in December. That was before Christmas. It was at commissioners meeting. When I came up with those prices, when I said, hey, this is like a 6 in the lottery. Because we are paying less than $500 for 4 tons, 8,000 pound of dumpster. And then additional $65 per ton, per additional 2,000 pounds for the household waste, for the municipal waste. We pay $150 per dumpster of plastic and $150 per dumpster of cardboard.
I think that this recycling company will pay you
Yes,
for
we
your
will be paying,
recycling.
but we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
Yes, but what are you paying then for the,
We have to get it all home.
yeah.
I guess
When you take the money away from Travis now, then he would say, okay, at this point, I need to charge you double for the municipal waste. Because this is it's a package deal.
My understanding under Republic that the county still had brush going in there.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Separate.
Yeah, not happening.
Separate,
Not-
is that,
yeah.
so that won't,
Yeah, for this you need this waste permit.
Yeah, but-
I want to avoid that completely. We are not there yet. I want to see what can we do. Can we even make a profit out of that? And then in a year or half a year from now, when this is really rolling, I say, okay,
okay,
we
so
can
that's
make.
what you're gonna present to the county.
We can take brush, yeah, green. This is another dumpster then, but we don't have the capacity there. You know.
The brush there is not, it's okay.
In the
Now
event
this
of,
doesn't help.
in the event of less than necessary income from this, what's our exit plan? What does it cost us to get out?
You pay Travis for the dumpsters, and we don't close facilities. Say sorry, it didn't work out.
Month to
We have $1 lease to the county.
Well, that's right,
Yeah.
The agreement with the county is terminable by either side upon a mutual agreement.
Mutual.
So there's
So
no
basically a
term
month
to this
All right,
thing.
good, okay.
Yeah, this agreement shall commence on the date of execution, shall remain in effect and terminated by mutual agreement of both parties, or by written notice of at least 30 days by either.
So, and I asked Shirley to add the additional whereas, what's that provision say, Shirley, because I haven't.
Whereas this agreement is subject to further consideration and review of the lease agreement that the city of Kingsbury is a city.
So we put that in there as an out, so that when we show up and, I mean, this was just presented to us
You're right.
and told we're on the 27th. So when we show up, I want to be able to say, Judge, you know, I'd like to talk to the county attorney first, but we're going to have to tell him, we're not sure what we're assuming, and you guys don't know exactly what we're going to do
Yeah.
with this lease.
I kept this kind of generic and
Yes,
kind of
and
open,
it's
so
very-
that we
it's-
didn't put I didn't want to be tied down to specifics, because there's things we don't know that we don't know yet. So I didn't want to tie us into something.
If they tell us that this is not an assumption of a lease,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry, this is a new lease, then this has to be rewritten as a new lease
Right.
that has everybody's obligations and understandings, and all of that should be done to avoid.
And what I sent them has the draft watermark in it too, so it's, so they know this is our first,
Proposal.
first proposal on this thing, so.
Well, one of you, either Udo or Shirley, you mentioned, I think, the legal representative, that somebody that you were talking to identified the legal
Yeah,
representative
it's
for the
legal.
county. Stephen something, or do you, was that, do you remember? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to the county attorney. and
Because
he
it wasn't
may-
the
you
county,
know,
it wasn't
county-
listed as a county attorney, it was a different, different title, legal
Right.
something.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll give myself a title too when I call. I'm just kidding.
We'll give you one right now. Tell us what you want.
It was their legal advisory, Stephen Tays.
Stephen,
Tays, Tays, and his title is legal advisory.
okay.
Stephen.
I'm gonna try to, and he's with the county, that's not
I'm-
singing.
She says our legal advisory, so, yeah. I'm
Was that
assuming
V-E-N or
Uh-huh,
P-H?
yes, sir.
Let me try to get in touch with them, so that we can flesh this out and find out what their understanding is coming into it, because
Yeah, they
and
may
and they
be
may
very
not
loose
have
to
any
assume.
questions, Udo,
Yeah.
but I can anticipate us showing up on the 27th, and they're gonna say, well, wait a minute, you're going to operate the trash collection station in, or
Reopen with some.
reopen, and you're just gonna assume
we're
that
not
you're gonna
reopening.
provide, you're gonna provide adequate staffing, equipment, or resources necessary for the efficient functioning.
What we've
What
been
does that
doing
mean?
for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and they may not have any questions, they may say, well, no, we just need a lease for it, and, and if that's the case, then it's easy enough, we just rewrite this and make this a new.
We want to be able to have Willie Nelson's next picnic there. if
Right.
necessary.
So it's gonna be wide open, and it's wide open the way it's written right
Yeah,
now.
I wrote it
That
very
could,
open.
that could cut both ways,
Yeah, it
against
could.
the city, or it can cut against the county later, when we start talking about, wait a minute, I thought you guys were supposed to do this, or we told the
Yeah.
county.
I'm kind of hoping that because we are not asking for any financial help from the county, that they at least put a little sugar on that they at least pay the electric bill. I mean, this is not much. There's just an AC unit there, and maybe the cameras not. When we get some cameras, they run on solar panels.
Then we need to put that in the agreement, if we
Yeah.
want them
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
that's, I said that in my answer. I said, I was kind of hoping that they pay the electric bill. This is not a lot, but it might be $100 or so electric bill, I don't know.
Well, at least the electric and the surveillance equipment until we get on our feet in a year or two.
Whatever we can sneak out.
Hey, if
Yeah.
they were giving away 6,500, I think they can afford, what is
I mean,
it?
right now they-
12? Yeah.
We can't give away what we don't have.
I mean, the cameras you can order on Amazon, I don't really sweat that.
Yeah.
But then when you need a Wi-Fi there. You have $50 from Verizon and you get this Wi-Fi cube from that thing that works perfect. You got unlimited internet. You hook up 4 or 5 cameras, one at the gate and one inside the booth that you can see the money exchanging and everything. You need to control. You need to seriously watch out. Who's coming in? When somebody's coming in, he's probably putting money into the jar too. Yeah. So I have no problem sitting at the desk and having a camera over my shoulder and seeing that I'm exchanging cash money from the people who came in and are leaving. Yeah? When you have 50 people coming in, 50 people should pay. When you have only 40 paying, ask me, question me. Yeah? When there's 48, okay, there's 2, they didn't pay anything, or maybe they just dumped a little cardboard. Learning by doing. if they only come for cardboard and plastic, and don't bring any household trash, I consider to start charging for the plastic and the cardboard.
I'm real interested in moving on to hear about the other recycling program, because I didn't realize that we were going to be paying for only cardboard and plastic. But
Balcones will not do that. They'll do
I'm not
everything.
trying to, I guess I am trying to speed it along to the next thing, but I don't think that's, sorry, my panties are in a wad. I apologize.
When it comes to saving, I'm all in. I'm with it.
Well, I think we've kind of covered what interlocal, and we'll see what the county says tomorrow, comes back with, if they do respond tomorrow.
What are they responding to?
The interlocal that I sent them.
Oh, okay, but they're gonna respond, I thought they were just gonna respond on the 27th.
I don't know, what I sent them says draft. So they were gonna, she said that they, so I can get it to Commissioner Seidenberger and to our legal advisory, for review.
Because it doesn't make it to the agenda, as Leo said, that he's invited,
Yeah.
but is that
Yeah.
interlocal invited on the agenda?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It should be on the, it should be part of the discussion on the agenda on 27th.
Theoretically, the possibility they'll look
Yeah.
at that, what we sent, and said, oh, this is fine,
Yeah.
we'll sign it.
Yeah, I will get with Greg on Wednesday, latest Thursday, and then inform you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Item number 10, discuss and consider interlocal agreement regarding waste transfer station, which we've already covered. So item number 11, discuss and consider plans for a possible Kingsbury recycling program.
Okay, so I know it has been so difficult to get in touch with these people. I have finally got in touch with them. I have an appointment at 1 o'clock on Wednesday to talk to Bob from Balcones. Balcones will pay us for recycling, and they can also drop off some kind of thing where we can recycle glass. They make glass mulch, so there's lots of circular economy type things. I think they can sell glass mulch back to people. Nobody will have to pay for recycling, though. They would pay us. And they would take plastic, cardboard, and glass, as far as I know. But I'll find out more on Wednesday with Bob. We can also go for a tour of their facility. Is anybody interested in that?
Of course.
Okay. So are there dates that, are there dates that are better for you?
Anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will just speak with him, and what I'm probably gonna do after I speak with him is see if he can talk to you immediately after, because I really feel like you're the person kind of, masterminding all of this, and you're gonna have pertinent questions for him.
And has
So,
property rights.
if you're available on Wednesday, maybe after I speak with him, we can get you on the phone with him too. You can answer all of our questions, but I think we should go down there for a tour and see what they do. But they are all over. I mean, they don't not only serve many, at least 10 cities in Texas, but they serve New York. They're all over the country. So they're a great company. They, like I said, they pay for recycling pickup, and then they actually make it into products that can be redistributed and sold in the community, which would be amazing. So
Employees on site of theirs, or how do
they, what?
They deliver a container and then come pick it up.
they strip the containers? So it would definitely have to work, because you have to pay people to see that the containers are used properly.
Yes, so they will want probably everything divided when it comes in, which.
Yeah. We have space for 3 dumpsters, 3 40-yard dumpsters, and when they're full, I make that call, and they come to pick it up, exchange it. Bring an empty one, take the full one, and
The one that Republic Room was what do they call it, single stream recycling, so you put the plastic and the cardboard all
Yeah, they
together.
put everything.
And then they
Yeah.
just take it to the dump.
Yeah,
No, well.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yes, they do.
and took it to the
Yes,
dump.
No, they take it to the sea and they just kind
Absolutely.
of.
They do.
Follow the truck and find the trees, yeah, follow the
Well,
money
so
trail.
what do
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
need, so I guess we need to see some more specifics
Yes.
on this, and then we can see how it could fit into what we're doing there, if possible, or as, if they can coexist, or if we might have, something additional you know, going on.
I mean, ideally, we can do it at the same place because then the trucks can get in and out, and that's a great space for trucks to get in and out. It's already built for that. So
And
ideally,
it's already gonna be staffed. and-
yeah,
And
yeah,
also the same employee.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Employees.
You know, we will need somebody who makes sure that things go into the right bin because.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See how it will work out.
Seriously, and then it happens that you have 3 customers. Those customers have to wait. It goes one by one. It's not like, oh, I'm here now, I'm just dumping it, and no, it's not going to happen. You have to pass me first. You go there and you wait. Simple as that. Yeah. Question I have, do you have any prices from this company?
Not yet, not yet.
So they say we pay you,
It's been
but.
so
okay.
difficult to get in touch
Yeah.
with anybody. Joaquin, the friend of mine,
Right.
he was in Brazil for months, that's why I couldn't get in touch with him. But now I actually have somebody I've been talking to, and we have an appointment on Monday,
Yeah,
or
we just
Wednesday
need to
at
get
1.
more details,
Yeah.
more specifics
Yeah.
on what
So I
they have
think-
to offer and.
And what I'll do is ask for a tour, and if everybody's kind of open, you know, I'll just pick a date. Maybe, it's probably gonna have to be on a weekday, but
Because glass was one of those things that there was a
Yeah.
lot of recycling for that, and then Republic cut that off. So
Yeah.
if there is some glass
Yeah,
recycling,
wait,
that's
there's
something that
gotta be
people do look for.
That opens for me now another branch up that I need to investigate. Now, do we need a permit for that? I
Yeah.
don't know. I know the stuff we have so far, plastic,
Yeah, right now,
cardboard, we
glass
don't need
just doesn't
permits so
have
far,
them.
but
Yeah.
for, I don't know.
Yeah. So
now,
yeah,
are there specific questions in case I can't like get him on the phone with you immediately? Are there specific questions you'd like me to ask him?
Yeah, permits and money.
Okay.
That's it. What are they paying and what are they charging? Because we still have the municipal trash.
Yeah.
And they will take care of that too, you say, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. What is he charging?
Okay.
You're thinking possibly swapping them out for Superior. No problem.
And
It's
maybe
all a
have a
matter
little
of cost.
pressure on Travis, you know what, there's a company from San
Yeah.
Antonio. This is business.
we haven't
And-
signed
yeah.
with anybody, so we're gonna take
Exactly.
whatever works out for
Yeah.
the city of
Good.
Kingsbury, absolutely.
Yeah. Travis seems to be easy. You make a call, he comes, he's within 30 minutes, he's
Right.
there, he's emptying the dumpster.
He's definitely got
Balconies,
some
I don't know, but it's already so difficult to get a hold of
Yeah.
him. That makes me nervous then, because when the dumpster is full, the dumpster is full. And customers are coming. Sure, you make that call when the dumpster is 3/4 full. You need to be a little preventive.
I think they actually had a line on the inside, so. They did, they had a line on the inside, like basically, this is as far as you can fill it.
Oh, okay, on the dumpster itself.
All right, so getting some more information back on that one.
Not at all.
Do we wanna,
Well,
You make that call.
moving on to item number 12, discuss and consider citywide rainwater collection update.
All right.
All right,
My guy, Chris at Innovative Water Solutions, got me a site plan, and it is not exactly what I was hoping for. So we have emailed back and forth a little bit more. Basically, he's got a collection off of half of the building with a 5,000 gallon tank. And I explained to him that that was not going to cut it. And so he is working on another proposal for larger tank and collecting off of both sides of the roof. The reason that he excluded the front is because of the concrete drive out front, cutting that to lay the pipes to get to the tank. And I explained that we had discussed putting in a water dispenser on this side of the building. Tank would be on that side of the building. There would need to be some concrete cutting to connect the two to each other. And so cutting that concrete, I know for a fact is
I mean, it's a saw.
not a hard process. I cut concrete for a living for a couple of years. It's not fun, but it is quite easy and quick. Basically, the the cost that I got from half of the roof and a 5,000 gallon tank was, where am I? With a poly tank, that was $22,070. With a Silver Pioneer metal cistern, $23,530. And again, that is for a pretty small tank.
How many gallons?
5,000. I mean, I don't think he understood the grand scope of the situation, what exactly we were trying to, I think he was trying to run this building.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, you don't need all of that. And so he's got like almost 9,000 gallons of waste just off of half the building. And so I was like, I don't think we're not on the same page here, man. We need to, we want collection. We want larger collection. So he's working on that. I know that it's later.
I think it's the next.
The next thing, there's an opportunity for some possible funding from the House Appropriations Committee, and that deadline to file is March 1st, I believe. And so which is coming up quick, but I did let him know that we had an opportunity, that we would need new numbers
Immediately.
Yeah. So I will, let's see, when was our last communication? I believe that was on, Friday. So I'll ring his bell again in the morning and see if he's got anything else. I would think that we would need to start with a minimum of 30,000 gallon tank, which is still a lot less than we can collect. But I'm curious what the cost difference is going to be on that tank. But so far, we got something. We're still not there, but we're definitely moving in the right direction.
We're moving and
We are
moving.
moving in the right direction. And I talked about it, a couple of people were interested in talking about rainwater at the Hot Chocolate Social. And one guy, I didn't catch his name, but he was saying that if we included an ice machine with the water, that he buys, at least 10 bags of ice a week. And that sometimes he gets it from the country store, but sometimes, most of the time, he drives into Seguin to get it. And I feel like,
Don't make mine.
yeah, if we were able to make ice, maybe we can sell it at the country store.
Sure.
That would have to be.
I've seen a couple of little ice machines in the middle of no freaking water.
Yeah.
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 It's like a big
It's-
thing.
yep,
Like
yep,
out on like country
yep.
roads and
Yeah.
there'll be like an ice
Yeah,
machine.
it's
like-
a one
Yeah,
one
like a
or
standalone.
5 gallon water filler and a ice machine.
Yeah.
They've got bags there, and it comes down a chute, and you fill it up, and you tie it, and you go on your way.
$150,000 investment, and it's carrying itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, but some of these are just teeny tiny, like telephone booth size.
It would sell. We'd sell
Yeah.
tons of ice.
So I liked the sound of that guy being like, man, I would buy ice for this. And oh, this is rainwater? Well, this is delicious. Oh man, if this were ice, I would be eating ice right now. This is the one guy just kept coming back for more and more rainwater. Like, okay, great. So I feel like the machine could generate some revenue. And then I will also look into what the additional for an ice machine would be as well. I think that those are, you can get that in a dual unit situation. Anyway, so there's that. That's kind of exciting. Maybe,
That is, yeah.
maybe the city is selling ice to the country store. That could be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't make all that much off ice.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
I hate to compete.
well, I certainly would hate
The
that
ice
too,
wars,
but
like
yeah,
Kingsbury
but,
ice wars.
you know. Yeah, I don't care where I get the ice from, just so that there's ice available.
Yeah.
That was one of the big things about
Sure.
having a store. I wanted to be able to get ice.
Yeah.
I remember discussion, I do not recall as far as the use of the volunteer fire department property for this purpose.
Yes, this will, as soon as I can get an actual
On the
site
thing that
plan,
we just did.
then I will have something that I can bring to the volunteer fire department for their approval to use their facility.
It may be like an enrollment.
Yeah, yeah. It's still, we're definitely moving in a forward direction, I believe. So,
All right. Item number 13, discuss and consider House Appropriations Committee, community funding, community project funding. So, Jessica?
Yeah, I got an email about this, and I went to a little Zoom meeting about it, and I mean, it's something we can apply for through what's her name? De La Cruz's office. And they said that a lot of the asks were, it's like her office can recommend 15 projects per fiscal year. And then, I mean, but then that doesn't mean that they're approved, but it's
Right.
kind of on to the next.
It would definitely
Stage.
be good to apply. I mean, we
Yeah.
haven't really taken that step, and so it would be a really good one to really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
apply. And
Yeah, and they were saying that most of the projects are like in the $1 to $4 million range, but they've sent on projects bigger than that. So I don't know, $1 million would do it.
Yeah, we did it. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's take million.
All right, so yeah, I mean, and they mentioned water was one of the things that they mentioned of like things to, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought of this first. I was also curious if there were other initiatives around, or is that I mean, we could apply for more than one thing. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Right now,
I think
this
let's do
point
the
in
rainwater. We
time,
got the
that's the
plan.
best
Let's
one.
do it, yeah.
One thing.
Yeah, this is the one we have the plan
Yeah.
for, this is the one we have action behind, this is the one we have momentum, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, great. Yay, thank you.
All right. Item number 14, discuss and consider recap of the February 10th Kingsbury Hot Chocolate Social, an event to educate and assist area residents concerning SB 2038 and the available process for removing of property from ETJ.
Right.
Jess.
Okay, well, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. Lots of people came, and I'm curious if we want to, well, and I've seen on Facebook, a couple of people asking if anything like this will happen again. I'm kind of wondering,
Do we wanna do another one?
yeah, or do we want to, I don't know, what would be the best way to approach, giving people somewhere to go to do this stuff? I mean, have people been coming by the store more than?
I've had a
usual?
couple, yeah. do some drop-offs.
Okay.
I forget, how many did we have? Did I say
I don't remember.
17?
Calendar events and having people have the appropriate people show up. Since you have calendar now, since you also had it happen at the Kingsbury
Yeah.
Development Committee meeting, had somebody come and do, if you have the appropriate there, or as Sam was saying earlier about being present as a notary and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, one suggestion was suggesting that people come to these meetings, but I just feel like these meetings can be,
Mom.
Yeah, we
long,
do.
and so to add like a paperwork stage to a night like this sounds like,
Well, how many
kill me.
people do you think will show up?
I
mean,
It
at one
could get
time.
really long, a Monday
Well,
night,
this-
I mean, we all work.
Well, this sounds like people are looking for just one more chance. You know, I wasn't ready for that one. It looked big, exciting, and I thought about it, and you know, maybe I want to do it now. So, why not, you know, come to a meeting? If nothing,
Yeah.
if we get 100 people show up and say, okay, write this down. And say, on this date at this place, when you come here and we'll work with you. You know, Saturday right then. If it's 2 or 3 people, if you can knock it out, put it early in our agenda. You know, call to order. Is anybody here for ETJ? And then just get your name.
That may be it.
And just we'll tap.
Yeah, we keep
Here's-
blank
we can print,
ones,
print it
yeah.
out, and then here it is. Sign it.
Yeah.
Notarize it. We'll mail it for you.
Yeah. We keep blank ones at the store,
Just
or so
any-
we have
yeah.
a file, blank ETJ.
Yeah. They can stop by the store and pick
Release
up a
ones.
copy,
Kingsbury
or they can
Board.
come to a commission meeting on Monday night or on third Monday, and
okay.
we'll
So I
just.
mean, basically, we just need them to fill out the form and
I
get
don't know
it
if we need
notarized
an
and then-
event for that, they can
Yeah.
certainly,
Okay.
Well, we'll see what happens after all of these are filed,
Yeah.
and what happens when they come back, and what the response is from the general public.
Yeah.
You know, they got worked up, evidently, very well,
Yeah.
good job, y'all. They got worked up and came.
yeah.
We're thinking maybe an ice cream social might be.
All
But like I said, you know,
right.
in 4, 5, 6 months from now, it may be time again. It may be
you are aware
enough
of
interest,
current ice cream socials
people
that
asking.
happen annually.
or something happens.
Yeah.
You want to be
That
community
drives
and
people
not
into
could be
action.
community? Sorry.
I
And,
have been a little curious about the doing an election and doing a swath of land, but we can't even do that until November.
I got
if we wanted
the,
to,
yeah,
whatever.
I got the voter registration rules from the county elections office. And to do, I requested in order to, because we only need 5% of the landholders in the area, and then in order to hold an election.
Well,
So
and
everybody that's been released from the ETJ after this
Yeah.
this chocolate social thing, everybody that's released from the ETJ, maybe there's a little pocket here, a little pocket there, a little pocket there that's not too far from our city limits. It's like, y'all want us to be part of Kingsbury? Here's how we can do that. As a smaller group to work with, and let them do the legwork on the bigger part of the group, and have their own election. If you want to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm working on this, just
You
getting the
working
whole,
Yeah, well, like I said, if
Just-
most of this area is now, if most of that area is an unincorporated county, because they've been
yeah,
released from the
actually, I
ETJ.
asked for everything in the Seguin TJ, east of 123.
Oh,
Whoa.
oh, wow.
oh,
That, well,
Yeah.
well, there's a lot
but,
of, a lot of city limit in there.
yeah,
too.
but then in talking with the county, elections office, they don't have like who's in the ETJ. And I was trying to narrow it down, I sort of figured that. So, what they're doing is, what they gave me was, precinct 1, people, but I need to get back with them because there's the northern part of Kingsbury is in precinct 2, I believe, yeah. I know they have a different commissioner, so when they're talking about precincts, that would be precinct 2,
When
so
they
I'm gonna get that.
redistrict this, I don't remember how many years ago.
Anyway, I also talked, there were some people at the social that asked about properties that are, there was a constraint in the statute regarding being 5 miles from a military base. And so the question was, does a touch and go auxiliary field count as a base? And it does say, where training is, where training occurs. So I contacted Senator Betancourt's office, who is the author of the bill, and they got back with me and said, that basically the military, the Department of Defense got with them, and if you're currently in that 5 miles is long.
Yeah.
It is big.
You're talking about that Seguin,
That auxiliary, Randolph Auxiliary Field up
People
on
call it
98.
Seguin Airport.
And it comes up to 10. So
5 miles.
when you're doing 5 miles, it's a long way.
And it does count?
It does count. I said, so these are property owners asking, they were automatically enveloped in an ETJ. And according to the statute, there is no way, once you're automatically enveloped, there's no way to be released from the ETJ. So you had no choice but to be enveloped, and now you have no choice of getting out. And, is that, I want to make sure I give the proper facts. And he said, thank you for, blah, blah, blah. Your insight is valuable, blah, blah, blah. My office reviews and records, okay, blah, blah, blah.
So basically nothing.
Yeah, basically.
a blow off.
No, it's not a blow off. But he said, according to the Department of Defense, it is, at this time, they cannot be released from an ETJ. There is no out. So they're,
How is it? I don't know. It seems like that 5 mile radius ought to be not controlled by a city at all if it's the Department of Defense. Like, isn't that under NATO or some shit like that? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like the military base. How can Seguin or any other city? Let's just not just dog on down, but how can any city make changes to that 5 mile radius if I don't know. That doesn't really matter. I'm bringing it up.
yeah, that's what's my question. I mean, they had no choice being, and so now they have a choice to get out, but because they're too close to.
It just seems like if you can't get out, it seems like how are they able to just say, well, that's ours.
Yes, it says,
No, that's a
during the
military-
last legislative session, as SB 2038 was working its way through the process, the Department of Defense came to us and asked us to include a 5 mile radius around active military sites. The situation you described, I believe, would qualify as an active military site, and therefore properties located within 5 miles would not be able to remove their land from the city's ETJ under SB 2038. At the current time, there is no other alternatives available to remove property from the ETJ of the city.
I'm sorry,
You
who
did
was
know-
writing that email?
This was David Clark, Committee Director of Local Government for Senator Betancourt.
And
So-
you're
So
someone
weird,
that
I really don't know what
uses
one thing
that
has to
site.
do with the other.
I don't either. I really don't. I do not understand. So that's why I wanted to get clarification
Yeah.
on it, because, it seems very odd to me. That those two,
Why they try to.
Yeah.
things are connected in any way.
Who?
So anything, further on hot chocolate?
I have just a little
Yes, sir.
trivial information. On the beginning of it, I was outside talking to people most of the time, but when people were leaving,
Schmoozy?
kinda, yeah. But if people were leaving, I would ask them, I said, hey, was it everything you hoped for? And they're like, huh? And I said, did they answer all your questions? Did you get done what you needed done? They said, yeah, it was great, except for 2. Well, one on the way out, she said, I'm not sure. I said, what's the problem? She said, well, we're kind of in a strange place, and they really couldn't determine if we were in the ETJ or not, in an ETJ or not. And I said, well, where do you live? She said, well, more or less by the San Marcos River. Name, address, and phone number. And
There were some people that asked if
Yeah.
they were in the Luling ETJ,
Yeah.
and I was not prepared
I know.
to
Answer
answer
that.
that. I have to
Luling
bring.
probably doesn't
But I-
have it on their website, do they? Like-
I don't know, but I just, with everybody there, I didn't really have the time available to
I
go
have
and look
plenty of
that
time
up.
to waste looking at like,
City
internet
Commissioner
feeds and
can't
looking at the
answer
internet.
that.
But anyway, I got her name and address and phone
County
number,
Commissioner.
and I researched it, and I found a company is based for realtors, real estate developers, that shows ETJs limits, city limits, ETJ limits in the county, and all these little, around the town, around the city. And it's pretty accurate. The biggest mistake I saw was downtown Kingsbury. That they went from this little line to where they just make dashes all over the place. And I said, okay, but everything else looked pretty accurate. So I looked at it and I measured the distance from Staples city limit to Staples ETJ. Well, they have a diagram of Staples ETJ, our ETJ, Luling's ETJ, and I said, y'all are nowhere near. I said, Staples is your closest ETJ line, and it's like 3 miles from y'all. So she said, okay, well, me and 19 of my neighbors, thank you. I said, okay, well, good deal. I said, if y'all ever decide you want to be part of Kingsbury, I said, just give us a call. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. And then there's another lady who came in. I was inside by then. She came inside and she stood there just watching. And for some reason, she decided to ask me. She says, how long does this take? And I said, I don't know, but I haven't seen anybody leave, unless they were through. And she goes, well, I don't know if I can stay. She said, is it hard to fill out that thing? And I said, I don't think so. I said, I think you can get it online at our, Kingsbury Facebook, or Kingsbury.org, or Kingsbury Facebook. Somebody's got it. And I said, you go to the store, they've got it, some probably. Well, I don't know if I can fill it out. I said, if you get a copy, I said, just contact the city, anybody. I said, we'll help you get it fixed. She says, well, okay. She goes, I don't know, am I in an ETJ? And I said, well, where do you live? She's telling me. I said, I don't think so. She said, well, somebody's telling me I was, and I had to pay them this much money and that, and get a survey,
That's
and
a
I want to
scammer.
divide my property in half.
That's
I
called
said,
a scammer.
No, I said, do you have receipts for all this? She goes, yeah. I said, you might want to talk to a lawyer, but let me check and see where you are really. And I said, I'll call you back. She called me back before I called her. And she is not in an ETJ. She lives over near Atlanta. I said, you're not in an ETJ. Nowhere, no place. I said, all this, if you want to subdivide your property so your daughter can have a piece of it, put her a house, I said, the only people regulating that is the county, Guadalupe County. I said, so you talk to them, real nice people, easy to talk to. They'll walk you through every step. And she goes, okay. And I said, if it doesn't work for you, let me know.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, who's this jerk telling him stuff?
I don't know.
I got a call from somebody near Geronimo, and they were saying that they were told the city of Kingsbury is requiring this and requiring that. And I said, sir, we have no city limits near where you are. It was somewhere north of Geronimo. And I'm like, I don't know,
I don't know what Seguin's been telling you.
I
but-
don't know. I don't either.
People's confusion between ISD
Yeah, it
and
could be.
city is outrageous.
Yeah. All right, anything further? Thank you for,
Hey, it was fun. Everybody
Yeah.
had a good time.
Yeah.
The rainwater does taste pretty good.
Item number 15, discuss and consider options for communication of the Development Committee with regards to the Open Meetings Act. So, I think this was like carried over from last.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to say something on
Yes,
this.
ma'am.
Because you did a group text the other day. There's a way to group text people where only you could group text a ton of people, but I would only see you. And I've done it because I know this because I've done it. I've sent out a group text to like 20 people and it just looks like it's Allison texting you to go, or Allison texting to Tyler. And you just have to look it up. It's, I mean, like I said, I am a tech, you guys know that I am a tech idiot. I have done this, it can be done.
The newsletter
It's
comes
just
out.
a search,
That's
and
me.
it would be like how
Yeah.
I
to
know it's got
individually
Yeah.
do it.
100,000 people.
It's a setting in your phone, I think, that you, or anyway, you'll figure it out.
With
You're
your
better than I
carrier,
am at that.
basically, not
Okay.
just
So,
department, it's both. Carrier has to agree with.
Also the, I heard in the thing that you read, resolution, that, whatever the,
Which,
what is that called?
Resolution.
there are two
Yeah.
resolutions.
So the committee is in a weird
Open records act.
open meetings act. I guess
Just
I'm,
us, we're the
Okay,
elected
okay.
officials, so we're the only
Okay.
ones that have to.
okay.
Yeah, we got
So
the
I'm
meeting.
not allowed
Yeah.
to text.
So we shouldn't be in a group text together.
Okay.
But if you texted all of us and just as Jessica, then we could respond to you and we wouldn't be able to see each other's responses.
Well, if I
you
can't see
use that
responses,
way.
then there's no point in.
Well, like she needed to know something from all of us if
So y'all could all
Each one
respond
of you
to
would
me,
respond to her
and
personally,
then
not
I would-
as a group.
I'm not sure.
it just saves Jessica having
if
to
I-
text
exact-
Frank, then
no,
Shirley, then Allison,
I'm
then
just
Tyler.
not sure if I do this every time. I always intend to. I think I have. In a group text like that, she asked everybody, "What do you think about this?" And you'll reply, or Shirley will reply, or Sam will reply. If somebody reply, and I get ready to reply, and I reply, Jessica. I'm only speaking to Jessica, not to, y'all don't have to read my text, but you're going to. I read y'all's, but I'm not going to comment on your text. I'm not going to say, Allison's wrong about this, Shirley's right about that, or vice versa. Or I think Shirley's right, or I think Allison has a good point there. No, I just said this Jessica and this. But that looks like I'm meant to talk to only her, but it's a text, a group text. So
Yeah, this is a way to
I
avoid
think
it, yeah.
What you're suggesting
Yeah.
makes sense, and then. y'all
It's how
can
people
just
send out
respond
mails,
to me
like
without
text
worrying
spams.
about-
it's very frustrating.
Seriously.
I want to be able to talk to anybody in this room at any time about any subject, and not feel like I'm breaking a law, not feel like I'm hiding anything. But it's a shame to have to keep all this stuff down and 1,000 notes and come here on the third Monday and try to cram it all in. Even if we discussed it for weeks on internet, on email, or on text messages, or on the phone, I would still wait to come here and at least go through the motions of discussing it, pointing out high, low point, and then voting.
Make sure it is public before it's voted on.
Yeah, I still wouldn't just come in and say,
Yeah.
well, we talked about this, how do y'all vote?
It says if you send iMessage and group messaging are disabled, then you can send it out to multiple people,
Okay.
but it comes back private.
Yeah, yeah.
Replies.
It looks like you're sending personal text. Yeah, it's just a
Okay,
setting on your
that would
phone.
benefit her.
Okay.
It wouldn't
Setting
matter to
on your
me,
phone.
because I'm just replying to a text from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, then it would be, you'd be
Yeah.
only replying to her. You'd only see
I don't
Jessica.
see hers.
if you send the
Yeah.
text. And, the message board only goes so far. I mean, that's what it's there for, that kind of thing, but, it's, because you can say anything in that, because it's not private,
Neither's this. I forget that
Well,
sometimes.
texts are private.
No, this.
Oh.
I forget sometimes that this
Yeah.
is not private.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Um,
so there is a way, and it may be sending out a text, hey, I posted something on the message board. I've tried to find out if there's a way, if there's something posted on the message board, it notifies me, but I haven't figured that out
I
yet.
get a notification, email.
On your, email. Yeah, I get an
Yeah,
email.
I know, the phone would be so much easier.
Yes, it would.
Ding.
Ding. Yeah. I'll keep working on that.
But I think it'll ding if I get an email, I don't know. But I think the message board might work. It's slower.
Yeah.
It's a little slower, but I think it would work if we just did it. If we
Yeah.
just did it. But it comes back to where with open meetings.
Because the real restriction in open meetings is that we can't really talk about anything until we get in here.
Exactly, but
You know,
how do
and-
cities function with their committees? And because I guess a committee normally has one council person or one commissioner on that committee, just one though. So, and the
Ah,
rest don't
yeah.
abstain.
With our
So
colleagues,
we have one representative on every committee we have, just one. If we have multiple committees, then we each get one until we have to get another one. But, so you're representing the commission. So, but we have to talk to each other and say, well, what do we want this committee to do, or what do you want? Or they told me this, and I said, oh, I gotta tell y'all something. You know, so how do we,
Put it in the message board.
how do we do that? Message board, I guess.
Yeah, message board. You can say anything in the message.
Just, we can talk
You
face
can
to
talk
face.
freely on
It's
the
open
message
and
board.
public.
It's
Okay.
open in public.
The only, this is great discussion, that's the reason I wanted this back on the agenda is because we had, what I brought up a month before, and you brought it up again last month, which I wasn't here, and I read up here. And there's a lot of good ideas and a lot of open meetings, open government, they can happen, but it's scattered. There's no consensus, no agreement on how we're gonna do this. And I really don't mind how we do it, but I want us all to agree and then just implement that. And I kinda like, need your help, need y'all's help, need your help. But when we get that settled, how we're gonna communicate and not be in violation of the Open Meetings Act, I'm gonna say our committee needs to take the Open Meetings Act training at least once, because they are an entity of this government. They're not the government, they don't have voting, but they are, and it just, no, they're part of it.
I'd be willing to do it.
I would ask every
Even
member
just
to
so
do
I
it.
understand better.
It's an hour and 3 minutes, and I think it's the most entertaining training video of government I've ever watched
Oh,
in
really?
my life.
Oh, cool, right.
Yeah. But, and I think we ought to do it every 2 years.
It's probably not bad. I mean, you only have to do it,
Once.
as an elected, newly elected official.
And,
I guess nobody's really using that message board because you seriously have to go on your computer, log in, or look up that homepage and look up for messages. That means when Shirley has to say something, it can take hours or days before anybody.
See, that's why it would be great if it
So
did
have
like
a
ping your phone.
Yeah,
Ping
can
or
that not be
something on the
somehow
message board.
forwarded right to your phone? That would be awesome, huh?
now, I should be able to get a notification if I have an email, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you do.
Well, I don't have.
Oh, you
an email.
can.
People do,
Okay, but-
again, settings,
Under
your own personal
notifications, under
settings.
general notifications.
Kingsbury newsletter. Did I delete
You can
those?
do each
I
email
deleted
address as a
those.
ping or a non-ping. But just to know these things and actually do it is so, like I said, get into group texting. I need out of this group because.
I deleted my
So-
notifications from the message board. But I get a
So-
notification.
So for this, options for communication, do we drive it all back to the message board?
Right on the only option.
And I can't think
I
of
think
anything.
if Jessica needs to communicate that with us, though, we can also use that method if you can figure out.
But I don't have her to
Get
train.
her to do it.
Well, she said, I replied to Jessica, this is my reply, and she goes, oh, no. Alice and Frank said this, what do you want to do about that? She can tell you,
Yeah.
and she could do the same. Shirley, Frank said this, and then Allison said this, and what do you, and she said, okay, now she got to start back over and say, okay, Frank, they said, well, tell them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it
It's
is,
putting
you
a lot
know.
of whole work on Jessica.
That
She
is.
doesn't pay enough for that.
It is, I know.
I mean, I guess whenever it's going to be a real conversation, it has to be on the message board. But
Yeah.
if I'm just,
So you send out
You know,
the
if I'm
text,
just
open
like,
up the
hey,
message
if
board.
If you're just
do you
asking about
need
the
another
agenda or
agenda
something,
item,
I
you
think
know,
that's,
like-
yeah.
Okay.
I think that could be a message on the phone.
If-
It's just, if
A
it's-
message on the phone that I posted on the message board.
Thank
And I'm
you.
gonna
Yeah.
post, unless, all right. This is now, if we post anything about the development committee, Tyler and Udo If they wanna reply, they have to use the general message board to reply to what we're doing, what we're saying. Because they can't post on the commission message board.
They can read
They
everything
can
on
read
there,
it,
but they can't post on
They
it.
can't post on it.
Uh,
So they might wanna say something to us personally, they could either post on the message board in the general, or they
Right.
could,
And then there's the general discussion board, which anybody can post and anybody can read.
well, they have an option of using we have the committee,
Development committee.
Development.
Yeah, we have the KDC discussion
they have
board.
the option of using that. Is it
Yes.
open, or are they
No,
only
that
and
one,
by
I
name?
believe I also put that one as, no, that one may be open.
To any public?
I think
Not
so.
members only? Because you-
No, it is not
Okay,
members only,
alright.
as far as I remember.
All right.
So there are options. People can post, they can post anonymous.
Good choice, right?
Well, I'm just,
No, good choice that you ordered down the agenda.
yeah, but I
I
mean,
guess if you're looking for community response,
yeah,
one of you could post to the
Facebook.
public message board that's like for everyone, and like,
There is a public
hey
one.
Kingsbury, what do you think about this? You
Mhm.
know,
I mean, you know, like, it may be something to put, maybe in the newsletter, you know?
Yeah.
There's,
What-
there's a discussion
what
board
do-
out there.
the commission message board is just for us, three of us, or is the secretary?
We're
and
the
Sam?
only ones that can post to that one. Everybody can see it.
What
when I
about-
have
no,
them posted.
the clerk
Yeah,
can?
you have been posting.
And Sam can?
Yes, Sam can.
Okay, so we can post on the commission board. Anyone can read it, but they can't comment on it. They can't post on it.
Right.
What in our communications, I'm trying to think what we talk about that we couldn't post on the general board? Why do we have to have a special? I know sometimes we don't want a bunch of people butting in the middle of our conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
The next item actually addresses that at any time. You can cut us out. Have a good evening, folks. Thank you.
Are you leaving?
No, the next item. You're
Next
going to
is
closed
executive
session.
session. Yeah.
No, I want to try to get an action done on what we're going to do for our communication with ourselves and with the
You're
development
doing well.
committee and
You can go
Yeah.
if you want.
Yeah, that's right. I can wait for you to throw me out, or I can say, hey, have a private meeting. Which is-
I'm looking for a better answer than the
You
message
can leave any
board.
time.
I don't know
Yeah,
if there is.
I
Why,
don't know if
thank
there
you,
is.
Tyler. I appreciate it.
I don't have a better answer. I don't have all
There is
the
no way
answers.
to this is.
You're right, the open meetings and flipping records, there's a price you pay for having open government, and that is it makes it harder for you people to do your job. And you can't do it. You just can't deliberate about things, anywhere else except under the
You can't
message
even
board.
have the opportunity to
Can't
deliberate.
Discuss what we might consider deliberating.
Right. And,
Right.
there just
But there was
isn't
people
Okay.
busted, in the men's room during,
I sincerely,
for
I'm
going
not
to
that
the
I'm,
men's room at the same time.
I don't mind going to jail, but I really don't want to see Texas Rangers coming in here
Yeah, I know.
to arrest anybody for what we think is normal,
Procedure.
Yeah, normal,
follow
Normal
the
business.
Open Meetings Act,
yeah.
not to the letter, but to the
Intent.
intent and openness of public
Mhm.
government, yes.
But if you, as you know, if you and Shirley walk into the HEB in Seguin, all of a sudden, I mean, you're at risk. You just
No,
can't.
it
you
takes
don't
that into
even talk.
consideration,
It-
yeah.
It does, and hopefully nobody's ever gonna prosecute, but you can't hardly say anything to each other because you have a quorum of the city commission in that HEB at that moment.
And as long as we're not deliberating or discussing city business, we're okay.
You're okay.
But that's what we mostly have in common.
I mean,
That's
to
all
a
you can
small
say is, how's the web?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
a small
basically
commission this size.
Yeah.
That's more, I mean, if there was one more member, then it wouldn't be an issue, or two more members.
If we didn't
then it wouldn't be
plan- if we
an
didn't
issue. So
plan
it's-
to meet
when
there-
This small,
And we met, I mean, it's like, I'm asking myself at the mercy of the jury and say, we met, we ran into each other at the store. I said, this was on our mind, we brought it up, we didn't deliberate, we didn't vote. We're gonna bring it up again at the next meeting. And as far as public goes, we're standing out here in the middle of public. Anybody here can participate in this meeting. You know, I mean, we didn't post it, and we didn't know it was gonna happen. I mean, you know, life goes on.
Yeah.
Guilty. No. Okay. I'm gonna
we certainly do our best. We certainly do,
Man,
are near our best.
I read every text I
We're
get.
not intentionally trying to subvert, our messages towards anybody. We're, sometimes it's just easier, send out a text, It's not like we're trying to get by
Why
with
does
it.
it not feel like a text feels like a conversation, an email
I feel
feels
like the
kind of like a
text that-
conversation. The
The
message
text
board
that
feels
says I
like,
posted on the message
I
board.
put a
would
stamp on it,
probably-
mailed it,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I did write you
Yeah.
something, didn't I?
That
Yeah.
would be, yeah.
The text that says I posted on the message board,
That's fine.
Right.
and that, I think that's the
Yeah.
thing.
I think
Okay,
that-
but yeah.
Wait, this is your
so we
thing.
have a-
Yeah,
The text message is your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the message board.
Yeah, look at the message.
All right, I'm gonna use the message board to talk to y'all, and I'll send a text when I post the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm still gonna have a note here. I've looked at that once, but I didn't
Okay, I
go
need-
really
yeah.
deep into it, but I will.
Like I said, I get a notification on email, I get a notification on the message board. So, let me say, I don't know, it's procedural, so it's not an ordinance, what's the other one to do?
Resolution.
A resolution that we limit our communications to the message board.
I mean, do we have to have a
Using-
resolution for
Well,
that?
I don't know if we have to,
I
but
don't think we have to.
I sure want it on the minutes of this meeting.
All right.
That that's our plan, to limit our communications to the message board. Text message that says I posted on the message board is okay. And I hope y'all will,
Or if,
as far as the development committee is concerned, do we need to, limit the emails that come to y'all, or do we need to limit the emails that are asking questions?
I don't think y'all need emails at all.
Like, I don't know if, I don't do a whole lot of that anyway. But if Elena sends an email to the entire committee, including the commissioners, at that point,
I think it's more just the commissioners probably shouldn't respond to
Okay.
an email.
okay.
If we're gonna respond, it should be through the message board.
Okay, all right.
Because we can see each other's responses on a group email, so it's better for us to just not respond. You
Okay.
guys talk, you guys go
Okay.
back and forth, you're
So
citizens, you don't have to worry about it.
should you not be included in the email, or just,
Included? Why would,
As long as we're reading them and not responding.
okay, all right, okay, so just expect no response from the commission. Okay, great. I'm just, I am not the one that's,
say.
or we
You
could
respond
contact
I'm
them
responding
on the
message
personally or
yeah,
something.
okay,
Or you
I
could send to the email group, I'm posting on the message board.
Yes, exactly.
okay, all right, great. I just wanted to, make sure that something was said directly about communication with the committee.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the message board.
And just to be clear, I can still text y'all and
Yes.
I'll go ahead and do the splitting it up thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Right. But I want to go back to, just real quick, it should have been in announcements. The local chapter of the Daughters of the Republic of Texas asked me to participate in a ceremony on March 2nd, which is Texas Independence Day. You know, we're kind of marching towards the siege of the Alamo right now. And so I'll be at it's going to be down at the Juan Seguin statue in Seguin, I don't know what they call that part, by the fountain, on March 2nd at 1 o'clock-ish. So I'll be doing the flag. But what was interesting is that she asked if I had relatives during Republic of Texas, and I looked up, I said, yeah, my great-great-grandmother came over December 3rd, 1845, and makes her DRT. And she said, what the person that Shenda was asking me, she goes, do you know what the name of the boat? I'm like, no. And no, I don't know that. She said, because that date sounds very familiar. It turns out, I think it was actually her husband's relatives, came over on the same boat, and it was the Neptune. Yeah. And so I've actually gotten the ship's manifest, you know,
That's
with
awesome.
my relatives. And,
That's cool.
yeah, and I got a picture I posted on her graves, on her Find a Grave, you know, a painting of the bark Neptune for that. So that was beside the point. But that makes her DRT. So she was here during the Republic of Texas. And they came over from Germany, landed at Galveston. Then they make this, I always thought they landed at Indianola. They landed in Galveston and then kind of took this route through Indianola, maybe smaller ships or something. And then, anyway, so yeah, on March 2nd, I'll be part of the ceremonies for the Texas Independence Day at the square.
That is really
That's neat.
That's really neat.
Well, the neatest part to me was finding out all this much more
Yeah.
about my ancestor and that.
That's cool.
Yeah, finding a ship's manifest, you know, of the bark Neptune on
Wow.
December 3rd, 1845, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Cool.
so, March 2nd, DRT. All right, item number 16, this is executive session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act. We are going into executive session, so this is for our members only. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
viewers. Thank you.
Udo, I will